Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Gianluca Masi speaking on the behalf of the Virtual Telescope project, and it's my very pleasure to be here tonight, ready to share no less than the cosmos, the deep space in real time, thanks to the Virtual Telescope project. I want to thank you for joining this live feed, and I want to remind you why we are here tonight, not only to bring to you the beauty of the universe, but mainly because this is happening in this very special month, April, which is Global Astronomy Month. This very old now, with a very long tradition, initiative by our friends at Astronomers Without Borders is here to remind you about the beauty of the cosmos, the same universe, the same beautiful sky we share all around the planet through borders. One people, one sky is the motto of my friends at Astronomers Without Borders. So I want to thank them for organizing once again this year this new edition of Global Astronomy Month, as well as many other projects. I strongly suggest you to visit www.astronomerswithoutborders.org just to be sure that you will learn, you will enjoy their amazing initiative. And with some luck, we will be able to explore some beautiful stuff, some beautiful cosmic jewels out there. The weather so far is good, or I would say it is just borderline, because we have some unstable weather at the observing site, but still I want to try to run this live feed. So why we are here? I told you, to celebrate Global Astronomy Month. We really believe, and I share this vision with my friends at Astronomers Without Borders, then looking up, enjoying the same beauty, feeling the same things, feeling the same sentiments, under our common sky is a very important factor to promote connections to borders, sharing different culture, because every culture over the centuries looked up, just projecting in the sky perhaps the best of its vision. So looking up, even today, we can enjoy, we can understand, we can discover such a millennial beauty, just underlining how we are all the same, looking at the same beautiful cosmos we belong to. So it is time for me to start sharing images. I want to show you also the telescopes we are going to use tonight. I am in Rome, of course, but the telescopes are in a very beautiful dark place, 120 kilometers north from Rome, in Manciano, in the beautiful countryside of Maremma, a very famous region in Tuscany, Italy. And here it is, the telescopes we are going to use in real time. I hope you are enjoying this opportunity to spy the telescopes. Let me start again the live feedback from the camera. Here we are. So I'm just connecting with the roof where my telescopes are, to be sure that you will see the telescope in action. We really want to bring with you the best experience. You see two telescopes here. We will be using the one in the very center. The other one is doing its own job automatically, working right now while we are using the other robotic unit. So I want to show you also the console, making possible for us to enjoy this experience. Let me see if I can adjust things a bit in order to have both the telescope and also the control panel available to hopefully maximize your experience. Here we are, my friends. On the bottom right, you can see in the small picture the telescopes we are going to use, as I said, in real time. The main screen is showing the console, making possible for us to remotely control the telescopes. So let me start just slewing the telescope so that you can see how the experience will look like during the show. I just asked the telescope to slew in a very random position, just to make sure that you see in the little picture on the right that the telescope is moving. Perhaps on the background you can even hear the noise, and hopefully this is going to bring the best real experience possible. So happy to see people joining from different countries. We really want, and when I say we, I mean Astronomers Without Borders and the Virtual Telescope Project. We have been partner of Global Astronomy Month for more than 10 years now. Global Astronomy Month started soon after the International Year of Astronomy, so it is about 15 years ago. Oh my god, how time is really leaving us so fast. Anyway, here we are, but still I was just checking that everything was working fine, also to share with you the feeling of such a live telescope control. But now it is time for us to start doing great things, and I want to start from a beautiful deep sky gem, the Messier 51 Galaxy, which is always a mind-blowing experience. By chance, the galaxy I want to see is not far from where the telescope is pointing. Just to explain what is showing here. This software is controlling the robotic telescope. Basically here you have the night sky shining above my observatory in Manciano, Italy. You see constellations. Let me see if I can actually add the star names to make sure that you have the best experience possible. Let me see if I can reduce labels to the brightest stars to avoid confusion. Here we are. Of course, the sky is huge, and the telescope can in principle point in every direction. So the yellow crosshair is where the telescope is pointing, in this huge portion of the night sky, of course. Which point of the universe is under observation? The answer is where you see the yellow crosshair. The red crosshair is where our destination object is. I asked to the system to point the Messier 51 Galaxy, and now I simply say I confirm. You will see that the yellow crosshair will move to go and meet the red one in order to reach the destination. Here it is. Now the yellow actual position of the telescope in the sky is the same as the red crosshair, the object we wanted to see. In principle now we should put our eye there, but you are I don't know where, in many different places of this beautiful planet I see. And let me now show you what we are seeing thanks to the electronic retina of our telescope. Let's go and take a very quick image, just a preview, to hopefully share with you what is now under observation. I will explain what I'm doing a bit better. Oh my friends, here we are. So to summarize, you are basically joining from home this amazing technology provided by the Virtual Telescope Project for Global Astronomy Month, this initiative organized by Astronomers Without Borders. I just asked one of the robotic telescopes available here in Italy, in Manciano, to slew and point the Messier 51, the Whirlpool Galaxy. At this point, we would love to put our eye on the telescope, but everyone here is in a different corner of the planet, and the beautiful technology here is just making possible, thanks to a very sensitive camera, much more sensitive than our own retina, to grab an image of the object just in the field of view of the telescope. These are very faint objects, needless to say, so we need to take long exposures. Those of you familiar with night photography understand the idea. In order to collect with your camera enough light from the dark scenery, you need to leave the shutter of the camera opened for a long time. This is, in short, what we call a long exposure. But these devices are so sensitive that even checking with a few seconds of exposure, we are already taking such an outstanding, superb result here. Now I want to take a 2-minute long exposure. I'm just setting a few parameters saying which resolution we will have with our image, and I'm pretty sure that you will love what is going to happen. But already this preview is making possible for us to really love this gem. Messier 51, the galaxy we are observing now, is of course a spiral galaxy, a grand design spiral galaxy. We the astronomers call such a spiral a grand design spiral galaxy because the arms are very prominent and they are basically embracing the galaxy along almost the entire circumference of the galaxy. So, in other words, this galaxy has very beautiful, really prominent arms. This gem is a bit less than 30 million light years from us. So, perhaps we can understand how far we are looking in space and time. I'm happy that you are also sharing your ideas. I remind you that you can join the chat available on the YouTube channel. I see several friends from Uruguay, USA, United Kingdom, India. I also maybe even from Italy, I don't know. Anyway, you can join if you want, while we are waiting now for the serious image to show, because we captured such a quick image collecting the faint light coming from so far away just for a handful of seconds. Now we really want a much better image, that is, we are collecting now for 2 minutes, and the countdown is almost ended. You can see the ongoing exposure finished. Now the camera is downloading the image, and here it is, the galaxy. Of course, I have to adjust basic parameters, but I already know and I already see how amazing this image is, my friends. Look here and tell me, what do you think about this stunning galaxy? Again, I want to remind you that this is a live feed kindly provided by the Virtual Telescope Project and Global Astronomy Month to hopefully celebrate in the best way the Global Astronomy Month. Look how beautiful this galaxy is, the spiral structure, so nice, but you also have here another galaxy, a companion actually. I really love the Messier 51 galaxy, the Whirlpool, so called because of the perfect shape of the arms of the spiral. This galaxy, it was the first nebula where we recognized in the second half of the 19th century the spiral shape. Before that, we divided the objects in the sky in stars, just showing us a sharp dot of light, and nebulae, just fuzzy objects without any specific structure. It was Lord Rosse from Ireland seeing for the first time the spiral structure for this very nebula, Messier 51. Messier comes from Charles Messier, the amazing French astronomer that in the 18th century, while hunting comets, he wanted to avoid the confusion and errors, so he started just taking note, creating a catalog of all the nebulae found during his cometary search to avoid confusion. I mean, looking a nebula through a telescope just look at similar to a comet, okay? So to avoid confusion, to avoid losing time, Messier took note of those nebulae in every part of the sky, so pointing there, he knew that there were a few nebulae, luckily a reason of confusion, so knowing that in advance was going to save time and a lot of work, you know. Now another image with a satellite trail. Yes, this is another aspect of the night sky. Well, plenty of satellite trails out there. This is making our life harder and harder. I know that there are many space enthusiasts out there, and we love space, we love the idea to go there and explore, but there are so many satellites now that it is almost impossible to capture 3 clean deep sky images in a row. But what I want to show you is how we can really look different features by changing things. On the same image, adjusting brightness and contrast. Look here how amazing the experience can be. The same image, so you can concentrate on the faint outer arms or the brightest central regions. If you want to see the faint regions, you are losing details, you are burning the brightest regions. On the contrary, if you want to look the central bright regions, you are losing the faint ones. Sometimes you can try to make things a bit easier, like in this way, where I just selected, look how beautiful this galaxy is and how powerful our telescope is, by the way, that in a couple of minutes you already have such an amazing, very detailed image, the main galaxy, Messier 51, its companion, and plenty here of faint nebulosity, that is the tidal effect coming from the tidal interaction between these two galaxies. It's truly a mind-blowing object, I believe. Now I want to share a completely different galaxy. Let me see, because we saw such a very beautiful spiral structure phase on, but in the infinite combinations out there, I want to show you, another amazing galaxy. Look, the destination here is now in Coma Berenices, NGC 4565. Come on, let's have a look there. The telescope is now slewing again. We are moving across the sky. Now we reached the destination, and as I did earlier, I want to take just a quick exposure in order to have something to share with you while waiting for the longer exposure. And here you understand the beauty of this galaxy is that this is a spiral galaxy seen under a very different perspective. This one is just Edgeon. We admired Messier 51 phase-on galaxy. Now, just pointing in another direction, we are observing a Edgeon galaxy. I already started, okay, taking a longer exposure, and now we are even observing almost twice as far as the previous galaxy. With Messier 51 we were looking at about 30 million light years. Now here we are around 60 million light years. Now we are collecting more and more signal, as we can see. We are waiting while we are celebrating Global Astronomy Month. I strongly suggest you to visit the Astronomers Without Borders.org website to learn the many things my friends there do to spread the beauty of the sky, the astronomical culture in every country, every corner, every place. I see some very nice comments. Thank you, my friends, to joining the chat, making this live cosmic show even better. I see a friend from Prague. I have been there many times. Actually, when I earned my PhD in astronomy, I worked from the Andreev Observatory, which is not far from Prague. Now we are collecting another image, but the first one is already here. Look how beautiful this galaxy is. This spiral galaxy, perfectly Edgeon. Now we don't see the spiral structure because we are no longer admiring from the very top, face on the spiral structure. It is now Edgeon. This is also saying that spiral galaxies have a huge extension, but they are, narrow, as you can see. And along the disk, when you see them Edgeon, you can clearly see dust present here. It's incredible, truly incredible, that technology is making possible thanks to the Virtual Telescope project. We have been doing this since 2006, and this way we are able to share with many people around the planet this beautiful experience. And we really wanted to make our technology, our love for the night sky available to celebrate Global Astronomy Month. So happy that you mentioned Andreev. I have some very dear colleagues there. They have a great experience in many different astronomical fields, particularly on asteroids, and asteroids are the astronomical objects I study more as an astrophysicist, so happy. And now, after looking at this, I also want to show you, if you are just curious, let me see if I can do this. Yeah, of course I will do. I want to share with you, this is a special site. I want to share with you from the other telescope, okay? So let me adjust, let me add the console of the other telescope. To make sure that you can see what the other telescope is looking at, just to make sure you understand what is happening. Just wait, friends, I still want to connect and share the telescopes with you. Here they are. Okay. Here they are. As I said, we are using the telescope on the right. The telescope on the left is doing its own images and is just taking data on a very nice spot in the sky. Look here. I love this corner. I've been working on this for some time, collecting images, and I want to share with you the view of this telescope. Look how beautiful this area is. This is coming from the telescope on the left. Several galaxies framed so well, and I will be sharing the final image in the next days. So if you want to see this image fully processed, just take note and visit the virtualtelescope.eu website in a few days. So I just wanted to share with you this in real time, my friends. I have here Bruno Lorenzo from Uruguay asking to say hello to his astronomy teacher, Mr. Herbert. It's such a pleasure, and I'm always happy that there are teachers bringing astronomy to young people willing to learn and dreaming to contribute one day to the discovery of the cosmos. Now I will go back to our main telescope. Here we are. And now I will ask our robotic unit to change to slew another beautiful gem. We started with a couple of galaxies, Messier 51 and its companion, then NGC 4565. Now I want to go back to the Milky Way, because also our own galaxy has plenty of beauty, and prepare to enjoy this object. We are slewing. We are changing position. The yellow crosshair, the actual pointing position of the telescope, reached the destination, the red crosshair, and now I want to see what we have there. Just a quick preview, an handful of seconds, used to capture some light from this object. Oh, how beautiful this is, isn't it? So let me take now a longer exposure, while we already have here, I believe, a hint of the beauty of this object. After looking at far galaxies out there in space, we are observing at the border, at the edge of our Milky Way, in its halo, how we call that remote region of the galaxy, the Milky Way, where we have globular clusters. These are very rich families of stars, and they are very old. Perhaps they are the oldest object you can easily see out there. This is Messier 3, a globular cluster, which is a bit more than 30,000 light years. With Messier 51, we were about 30 million light years. Now we are 1,000 times closer, in our galaxy, even if in the outer halo, enjoying this object. Waiting for the longer exposure, but already look how stars are concentrated here, basically kissing each other, particularly in the central region, where of course star density is very, very high. 20 seconds left here. So waiting the countdown. I really love this interface. I want to thank the technological partners of the Virtual Telescope project, Software Bisque, C-Web and Telescope Live. Now the official image is coming. Here it is. Let me take also, I will try. An higher resolution image, but look here. Let me play a bit with the image to show you how many stars, how dense stars are in the core of the object. Let me see if I can use a different approach. Yes, here it is, to hopefully share with you the best view of this astronomical object. I love it, by the way. Really, really beautiful. Well, such a clusters have generally they have 100,000 stars. They are very dense and they have plenty of stars. As I said, they are very old, 10 billion years on average. This is the typical age of a globular cluster. Messier 3 in this case. Sorry. I'm waiting for... I'm really amazed by the image quality. So happy that the sky is holding. I'm always keeping an eye on it. Just trying to check, okay. Just a few seconds more. So nice, let's see. Here it is, the new image. Oh, this is a superb image, really superb image. Let me see if I can adjust. Look, friends, at the reach. I'm just trying to play a bit with this. To hopefully find how beautiful our night sky is with so many gems. We are just looking into this gem thanks to the sharp eye of the Virtual Telescope project. So nice, so happy, so proud that we are bringing this to you. How nice. So we have seen a couple of galaxies, a globular star cluster, and we are still in very deep sky. But now I want to try to observe. I wait for the new image coming. I don't want to stop the image collection right now. Okay. So nice. But let me see if I can share with you something completely different. The famous Cat's Eye Nebula. Let's ask the system to go there. We are still digging in the deep space. Now we should be there. Let's go and take a quick exposure. Then I will immediately start the longer exposure. This is very intriguing. Look here, in this very quick, very raw image, you have several things. There are stars. Let me see if I can. Here we are. You see, there are stars belonging to the Milky Way. You even have a very remote galaxy here, and something strange here, very likely different from a star, even if it is hard to conclude about its nature at this stage. But if I play as I did so far, with contrast and so on, at some point, let me use this one. Perhaps it's too extreme. Okay. Look here, friends. Perhaps you recognize that here you have a star with some nebulosity around, but keep in mind, this is a very preliminary, very raw image. The better image is coming soon. I'm waiting for it. Exposure ended. Now the system is simply downloading the image, so we will see it on the computer. Look here, friends. I hope now you recognize this as a nebula, a planetary nebula actually. Sorry, I want to see if I think you can recognize the nebula around the star. This is a star with the same, basically the same mass like the Sun, but it is much older, almost twice the age of the Sun. Our Sun is about 5 billion years. This one is more than 10 billion years, and it is basically dying. This star ended producing energy via nuclear fusion in its core, and it is basically just cooling, and the instability due following those critical stages when the star stopped producing energy released a very small amount of matter in space, leaving the star with a very small speed of the order of 10 kilometers per second, and it is creating this beautiful structure. This is the famous, actually, Cat's A nebula. And I also see some hint of something not far from there. And in fact, here it is. This is the simulator, of course. Keep in mind, friends, that we are enjoying real-time images, okay? So beautiful, I believe. I think you will agree with me. Let me ask the system to link this real image we are doing science now. I mean, we are reducing an image to match what we have here. How nice, how beautiful. And now I'm waiting for the next image in about 1 minute. Hope you are enjoying this live feed. Keep in mind, this is the simulator. I don't want you to be confused by this. So let me move back to the planetarium, waiting for the new image, but it is coming soon. This live feed is celebrating Global Astronomy Month, organized every year since 2010 by Astronomers Without Borders. So happy to be here with you, my friends. After this, I will try to share with you another amazing globular cluster. Or better, I have 2 more objects to share with you before we stop. I'm also intrigued actually by this feature here. I will investigate better to identify this. I'm very proud for the quality of the images we are collecting tonight. Keep in mind, my friends, these are raw images, no processing at all. These images are shared with you soon after they have been collected. You will never see again raw images unless you will operate your own telescope. This is part of the game, sharing with you the experience of a real astronomer. Let's go. Okay, I want, let me check the weather again. Okay, still up and running. I I want to visit this object. The telescope, yellow Crosshair, is moving across the sky, reaching the destination, the red Crosshair. We are using the Sky X Professional, created by our technological partner Software Bisque. Also, the robotic mounts used at the observatory are from Software Bisque. Very luckily, here we are. Let me try one thing, if you don't mind. How strange this image is. Okay. Let me stop reduction, automatic reduction. Okay, and let me start a 2-minute exposure right now. Now I managed to slew the telescope to a couple of galaxies. This is just matter of perspective here. I mean, when observing Messier 51, we spotted the main galaxy and its companion, and they are a real pair, okay? Really interacting by gravitation. But many times, basically almost 90%, 99% of times, when you see galaxies in the same spot of the sky, it is just matter of perspective. This one is much larger than this one, and basically this is saying that this one is significantly farther away than this. There is a very special reason why I asked the telescope to capture this couple, because here we have something special. Something which will make this experience, this live cosmic journey, even more rewarding, I believe. Let's wait for half a minute. Let's see what will happen. And a few seconds. I hope that this exposure, 2 minutes at high resolution, will be enough to share with you what I wanted to show you. Okay, here we are. Just let me sure, oh, sorry. Crazy things happens sometimes. Look here now at this beautiful couple. I try to adjust. Okay. This is something not obvious. Look here. I love this, by the way. Look. This very small galaxy here. How amazing this is. How far this galaxy can be once compared in size with this one. Okay. and even more with this one. Now I will explain why I wanted to share this particular image with you. Look at this very beautiful barred spiral galaxy, because you have the nucleus of the galaxy, a bar of stars, and from the ends of this bar you see the arms. Look here at this star, the one pointed by my mouse arrow. That star is a supernova. A supernova exploded in that very far galaxy. This has been discovered a few weeks ago. So in this very moment, the Virtual Telescope project, on the occasion of the Global Astronomy Month 2025, is sharing with you such a primary astrophysical target. A supernova exploded in this very far galaxy. Hope that you enjoy this opportunity. This is honestly amazing. And keep in mind that we are looking, while staring at that galaxy, at 300 million light years from our planet. So I believe it is a truly mind-blowing experience here. Now I want to finish with another very beautiful galaxy. I will close this and I will finish with Messier 101. With my friends at Astronomers Without Borders, we wanted to run at the very beginning of Global Astronomy Month the so-called Messier Marathon, that is visiting all the 110 Messier objects during one night from sunset to dawn. Unfortunately, that night the weather was very bad and we could not reschedule it. So at least we are having plenty of fun tonight. Now I want to take a quick picture of this before starting a longer exposure. I think that even this very raw, very poor image is able to reveal the beauty of the next astronomical object, such a stunning phase-on spiral galaxy, Messier 101. And we are looking back in time of 21 million years, 21 million years, as we are looking at 21 million light years. So nice. We are taking an image of our last cosmic gem, part of this beautiful deep space cruise offered to you by the Virtual Telescope project to celebrate Global Astronomy Month with our friends at the Astronomers Without Borders. How beautiful. just arriving. Here it is. And with this outstanding image, we are going to end this hopefully interesting for you deep space cruise, which wanted to share with you the beauty of the cosmos on this very special night to celebrate Global Astronomy Month. So friends, I hope you had fun. I hope that you enjoyed looking up through the technological eyes of the Virtual Telescope project, and above all, I hope you agree with us that the beauty lurking out there in deep space is so nice that it is well worth the effort to share it through borders, something that Astronomers Without Borders, on this occasion in partnership with the Virtual Telescope project, has been doing for many years now. So I still want to thank you, all of you, for joining. I see you joined from different places, so I hope that you will want to join again our next feeds. I strongly suggest you to subscribe our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page. Look on Facebook for the Virtual Telescope project page. This way, every time we will schedule a new live experience, you will have an advice, you will have a clear evidence, and you can join from the comfort of your home. Thank you very much, my friends. Take care, and let's celebrate Global Astronomy Month again and again. There are many things again to do, and check the Virtual Telescope Project website as well as Astronomers Without Borders website. That's all, my friends. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your time, and take care and keep looking at the stars.